Halloween. It is the one night a year when the veil between our world and the world of spooks and monsters feels paper thin. We dress up as our favorite ghouls, ghosts, and villains. We revel in the thrill of a good scare. But what happens when the make-believe horror becomes all too real? Tonight, we're going to delve into a story that serves as a chilling reminder. Sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones hiding in plain sight, concealed behind a familiar plastic mask. This story takes us back to Halloween night 2018 in the bustling heart of New York City. The streets were alive, a vibrant sea of costumes, laughter, and the joyful chaos that only Halloween can bring. Parties were in full swing, and the air was filled with a sense of festive excitement. Amidst this citywide celebration, two friends were walking home after enjoying a Halloween party. The night was winding down for them, the fun almost over. They were probably talking about the best costumes they saw, maybe laughing about something that happened earlier. The atmosphere was light, just like any other holiday evening. As they made their way down the street, they noticed someone approaching. This person was wearing one of the most recognizable costumes in horror history, the Ghostface mask from the Scream movie franchise. The long, white, distorted face, the black, gaping mouth and eyes. It's a costume designed to be both spooky and a little bit goofy. It's so common on Halloween that you barely give it a second glance. The friends likely thought it was just another party-goer, maybe someone trying to get a last-minute scare out of passersby. The figure in the Ghostface mask stopped, raised what looked like a prop gun, and pointed it at them. In the context of Halloween, what would you think? A prank, right? Someone just getting into the spirit of the holiday? You might even play along, pretending to be scared before having a good laugh about it. That's what witnesses thought too. It was just part of the show, part of the fabric of Halloween night, in a city that loves to put on a spectacle. Nobody panicked. Nobody screamed for help. It was just another Halloween gag. But then came the flash and the deafening crack that shattered the night's festive illusion. It wasn't a prop. It wasn't a prank. The man in the mask fired the weapon, and the two friends fell to the ground. In an instant, the playful horror of Halloween evaporated, replaced by the cold, brutal reality of a violent attack. By the time police and paramedics arrived, the scene was one of utter confusion. Early reports were muddled. Was this an elaborate, tasteless prank gone wrong? Was it part of some street performance? The Ghostface mask made it feel surreal, like something out of a movie. The initial confusion quickly gave way to a grim investigation. The victims had been shot, and their injuries were fatal. This was no prank. It was a cold-blooded murder. The challenge for the police was immense. On any other night, a person in a distinctive mask would be easy to spot. But on Halloween, the killer was camouflaged. He was one of thousands of costumed individuals roaming the city. He could have slipped into any crowd, any party, or any subway car and simply vanished, his identity completely shielded by a $10 piece of plastic. The police had to sift through countless witness statements, many of whom initially dismissed what they saw. "I just thought it was a joke," many would say. How do you find a killer when his disguise is the most popular costume of the night? Investigators had to rely on scant physical evidence and try to piece together the moments leading up to the attack. Was this a targeted act, or was it a completely random burst of violence? The mask, which was meant to be a symbol of fictional horror, had become a tool for a real-life monster to commit a terrible crime and disappear without a trace. This case casts a long, dark shadow over the way we celebrate Halloween. It forces us to ask ourselves some uncomfortable questions. How much trust do we put in the anonymity of a costume? We see spooky decorations, haunted houses, and people in scary outfits, and our brains are conditioned to see it all as harmless fun, desensitized to the imagery of horror because we invite it into our lives for one night. But this incident proves that we can never let our guard down completely. The Scream movies themselves play on this very idea. The killer could be anyone, your friend, your neighbor, the person sitting next to you. The terror comes from the unknown identity behind the mask. The 2018 New York City shooting brought that cinematic theme into the real world in the most horrifying way possible, exploited our sense of festive security. The killer used the very spirit of Halloween as their shield, turning a symbol of fun and frights into a cloak for a heinous act. So what's the takeaway here? Is it that we should be afraid on Halloween? That we should lock our doors and not participate? Absolutely not. Halloween is a time for community, creativity, and fun. It's a time to face our fears in a safe and controlled way. But this story is a powerful reminder to always remain aware of your surroundings. It's a lesson in vigilance. Enjoy the parties, admire the costumes, and eat all the candy you want. But keep an eye out for each other. If you see something that feels off, even if it seems like it could be a prank, trust your instincts. The difference between a harmless scare and a real threat can be blurry, especially on a night like Halloween. It's always better to be safe and report something that seems suspicious than to dismiss it and regret it later. Look out for your friends, travel in groups, and have a plan for getting home safely. These are simple steps, but they can make all the difference. The tragedy of that night in New York is a stark illustration that real-world dangers do untake a holiday. While we're all pretending to be monsters, we must remember that real ones sometimes walk among us. They might not have claws or fangs. They might just be wearing a mask. Let this story not be one that fills you with fear, but one that equips you with awareness. Let's make sure our Halloween celebrations are remembered for the fun and the friendships, not for a moment when the horror became real. Thank you for watching and for letting us share this important story with you. We want everyone to have a fantastic and, most importantly, a safe time during any celebration. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content that makes you think. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video.